was repeated again and again. I don't know any war where rapes are not committed, which is not to dismiss such awful things as rapes. 2 rapes is 2 rapes too many. But the San Francisco Chronicle had a headline. It said, rape, just 2 weeks ago, rape is an official Serb policy, Kosovo refugees say. Oh, they know about official policy. And you read down 2 columns, and finally you get the OSCE official says the rapes have only numbered in the dozens. Very few dozens, as a matter of fact. Very few dozens of rapes. That's not an official policy. Oh, if Bill Clinton is looking to stop very few dozens of rapes, well, that's a slow 2 months in Washington, D.C. He could start much closer to home. He could concentrate on Capitol Hill, as a matter of fact. Or even closer. It's so touching to see our leaders finally concerned about rape. It is so touching. But it's so odd that they've got to look so far away to go fight this crime. Go forth and rape, a Bosnian Serb commander was quoted throughout our media as saying, an official policy. And the Bosnian Serb army, which numbers only about 30,000 men, numbered then, was accused of having raped from 25 to 100,000 Muslim women. There's an army that's involved in bitter, desperate military force. Again, we should have said, wait a minute, what's going on here? What are these stories about? The Serb commander's name was never found. They never produced who was the Serbian commander. They never were able to trace that. They traced it back to Rudolf Finn, right? That special PR group that was so happy and boasts about how it has convinced much of the progressive community in America that there's genocide and ethnic cleansing and mass rape and all of this is going on. And when they were questioned about the unverifiable, unconfirmed nature of the reports, they said, our goal is public relations. We're not here to get confirmation. And we achieved our goal. There was the infamous Sarajevo market massacre. The Serbs were blamed for that, and that became the turning point. That's when NATO forces went in and attacked, and that's when you had the worst single act, let's say, till recently, of mass forced expulsion, and that was 600,000 Serbs between 1991-95, but especially in 95, from Krajina, 200,000 of them. The Bosnian Serb the Croatian Serb defenses were broken by NATO bombs and all that, and the Croatian army came through. 200,000 Serbs, those who could get away alive, left the country. It turns out that that massacre in Sarajevo market, as the story was leaked out on French television, that the UN knew all along that it was Muslim extremists who had bombed the people in that marketplace, that the explosion did not come from an artillery shell, but from a planted bomb. Deјvid Oven, who worked as an international negotiator with Cyrus Vance, in his book, Balkan Odyssey, page 262, himself admits that the NATO powers knew all along it was a Muslim bomb, and the Serbs did not commit that act.